I'm taking this rundown shopfront in Molino and turning it into a working kitchen supply store. Well, working, just not in the way I intended. But in order to do that, I first need to grab a couple mods from the Steam workshop. The mods that I'll be using today are the Debug Objects category and the Little Business. These mods complement each other nicely. The Debug Menu mod allows you to decorate your business with items that you spotted in other shops and cafes around in Molino, and the Little Business mod allows you to run your own business selling whatever your heart desires. I thought the best place to have a shop like this was Old Town, close to the other shops. To get this lot, you need to switch to the current para living in the plot, sell the plot, and then have your para purchase the plot. There is an apartment above the store that's move-in ready, or you could renovate it to your taste. However, today I just want to focus on the store. Now, I was pretty excited to try the Little Business mod because as an introvert, being self-employed is a dream. And of course, my para is also an introvert, so it's her dream too. There were no signs in the debug menu that fit the kitchen supply store, so I scaled up a wooden spoon, called that a sign, pretty self-explanatory, right? And I've seen others play with this mod, make all kinds of cute builds like bakeries, which would be a nice little business to have in paralives, but I wanted to see what else you could actually do with this mod. I didn't want to take a long time either creating something from scratch, so just grabbing a vacant lot spot in Molino seemed like a good way to open up fast. However, even with all that in mind, I still managed to run into troubles. I spent a few hours modeling this shop after home goods stores and kitchen supply stores that I've visited in real life. You know, the ones that have the fancy tablescapes and the cool little gadgets that you really don't need but you have to buy. And after meticulously placing each kitchen and dining themed object and then spending more time going through and marking everything for sale, I was a bit disappointed with how the mod actually works. Now, don't get me wrong, I still really like this mod. Both of these mods actually that I'm using today are great, but unless I missed some fine print somewhere in the business mod, I totally messed up creating a functional shop with little restocking needed. I'll show you what I mean when I actually open, but for now, let's take a look at the creation of this store because I'm still pretty proud of this build, even though it didn't work out as planned. So this little rectangular room is going to be a stock room. Is it necessary? No, you don't need a stock room to have a business in paralives, but there is a small red door that leads out to the street, and I thought, that would be perfect for shoving boxes through. I was also going to repaint the entire store, but these black walls felt like a good fit for a shop because they seemed to help the decor and items pop more. They also allowed me to incorporate colors without clashing or overwhelming customers. These counters I pulled from the debug menu. You could use kitchen counters if you don't want to add more mods to your list. Who here already has more than 10 mods? And what are we all using? Anyways, I chose these counters because they match a curved counter that I want to use as the checkout. And these big window fronts were actually a huge reason why I wanted this plot. I really wanted to have some window displays, and the real-life stores that I've been to always seem to have these large windows with little mugs and crockery to lure you inside. A couple things I try to remember when filling spaces like these windows is to layer items and vary heights. There are very few stores that keep all the merchandise at one level. That's also a huge waste of space, which was actually foreshadowing my Little Business mod experience, but I was blissfully unaware. The nice thing about a kitchen supply store business is that there's a lot of items to choose from. You could pull from tableware, furniture, cookware, even some of the arts and signs can be used in the shop, so you can make this business work on any size lot. The debug menu is also a great place to find signs from shops around Molino. I did try to pick signs that you might hang in your kitchen, but even with that criteria, there's still plenty of options to choose from. I had a lot of fun creating this table display. There's so much customization that you can do with something like this. I couldn't find anything to use as a table runner, but I did think that this natural rug would make a great centerpiece mat if I scaled it down, and I think it actually turned out quite cute. What do you think? I went with the burnt orange color scheme because I like it, and there is some of that burnt orange in the rug under the table, but I'm interested to know what colors you would choose for this display. Let me know in the comments. This wall looked a bit bare, even though there's a ton going on with the table, so I decided to add some shelves to frame it. Now, there is a bar cart that you can use. However, I prefer this one that I made out of this plant cart and a cutting board. This is that matching curved counter from the debug menu, but again, you could use kitchen counters or even a table for a checkout if you prefer. In order to make this shop work, you have to make sure that you include the little business shop sign. You can search for it to make sure that you have the correct sign. I initially did not put the correct sign in the store, and I couldn't even open the store. So please make sure you search for the correct sign. If you're not sure, all the instructions are in the description of the mod. For the final display, I decided to create a section for knives. I chose this museum glass case from the debug menu because I'd prefer to keep these things under lock and key. I don't know about you guys, but I have found enough skeletons around Molino to know you cannot be too careful. And the final section to decorate was this back room. I just chose clutter items to fill the space, mostly choosing items that I had already used in the store. Now we can actually open up our shop. Our first job is to mark everything for sale, and we can also decide the profit margin. I did this for everything in the store, not just the bar cart. Keep that in mind. So here is what I noticed. If you think that customers are going to move around to different places in your shop, I have some news. They don't. They come in, stop at whatever items are easy to access, and then shop from that section. So did I waste time and space doing this project? Yes. Will I constantly need to restock the area that they shop from? Yes. I still think my shop is cute, and it still works, but I can see why people decide to open a bakery over a shop like this. Overall, I enjoyed creating this build. I also do like having the little business mod, but in the future, I will scale back my storefront. Have you tried the little business mod? And if you have, what business did you create? If this helped you relax, you're always welcome back. This is a video that I think you'll enjoy, and this is a playlist I think you'll like too.